What is up, devs? It is DevZone back again after like a long time. As per usual, you know, I like to take my big breaks apparently, but hopefully I can stay around this time. Anyways, today we're going to be diving deep into the world of CFrames in ROBLOX Studio. Whether you're a scripted noob or a newer legend, this video will give you a full guide understanding, using, and absolutely mastering CFrames here in ROBLOX. CFrames are like one of the most powerful tools you can use in ROBLOX development. It's really beneficial with many things. If you stick with me for the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will be able to walk you through and hopefully help you become a professional CFrame developer. Like myself. Kinda. Anyways, let's get into the first part. Before I dive into any of the scripting parts, I want to quickly go over what CFrame is. CFrame is short for coordinate frame. You can think of it as a vector, but it stores both position and orientation in a 3D space, which is this workspace right here, alright? So instead of saying something like, local pods equals vector 3.new111, and doing that, and then define the orientation, stuff, you can just make a CFrame itself. You just do part.cframe equals and then CFrame, right? This script here will move. Wait, let me just disable these real quick. This script here will move my part, right? So this script, so with CFrames, to begin off with. Alright, let's move on to section 2. Section 2 is about moving CFrame. Let's talk about movement. There's two ways you can move a part of CFrames. One is world relative, and one is local relative, yeah? World relative means you can move the part no matter which way it's facing. For example, this is world relative. So when I run the script, my part should be moved. Let me rename my other parts real quick. Right, so first we're going to do is a relative to the world, which means move no matter where it's facing. So this should move. Let's change this to like 20, right? In theory, this should move relative to the world about 20 studs in whichever direction it's facing, right? So I'm just going to run this and not play. But if I run this, see how it's moved? It's moved relative to the world in 20 studs direction, wherever it is. Over here, yeah? It's 20 studs relative to where it was before. Right, so here's the CFrame right now. It is changed relative to 20. What if the part is rotated and you want to move it forward relative to its position, right? In this case, in the case that you want to do this, what you want to do is you want to do it relative to local space, yeah? So this will move in local space. This is part, so what we want to do is we're going to do part.cframe equals part.cframe times cframe.new. This moves the part forward in facing its direction. See the difference? I'll run it real quick and you can see the difference. The relative to its facing direction. See how it moves over here because it's facing this way instead of moving this way relative to the world. So it moves over here. Alright. This is super useful for character movement, enemy AI, and anything that's dynamic. The times operator makes it local to its current space. Instead of doing this, what you could do, if you want to get fancy and just shorten, you can do part.cframe. Its times equal to cframe.new 0, 0, -10. Which still has the same output, it's just quicker and simpler to write. See. Moving on to section 3. This one is about rotation and rotating with CFrames. Alright, rotating with CFrames. This is where most brains start to like, people struggle, and rotating with CFrames is just handled like this, right? Rotation with CFrames is handled with the function cframe.angles, rx, ry, and rz. Alright. There's a catch. the thing is, some people, what they do is they do CFrames.angles, but they forget to do math.rad, and they measure in degrees. What CFrames.angles does, it takes it in, what's it called? It takes it in radians rather than degrees. So to convert from degrees, which most people are familiar with, you would do math.rad to convert to radians, and to convert from radians to degrees, you can do math.deg. Alright, deg does degrees, rad does radians. That's exactly how it works. This script I've got here, this will rotate the part 90 degrees around the y-axis. And the rotation the axes for rotation are that X is tilting backwards and forward, that's turning left and right, that's rolling like an aeroplane, right? Right, so I'll show you what this looks like. So it's our test part here first. After we run, it will flip 9 degrees as you just seen there. That is CFrame.angles and how rotation works in ROBLOX Studio. Next is setting orientation with look at, alright? So this next part, sometimes you might want to move your part to a position and have it face into a certain direction, yeah? This is when you use another version of CFrames.new. It has 2 different variants, you could say. One variant is the other one we've done before, which is just vector, vector, and vector. But then it also has CFrames.new position and the lookout value, yeah? Which is what we got here. Alright, so part here is going to be our position. That's going to be our part, sorry. Our position is going to be here, and our task is where it's going to be looking at here. This will move the part to 0, 5, 0 and make it face forward. Face towards 0, 5, -10. This is super useful for turrets, NPCs, and things that must react to environment and face certain object. So if you look at this, it moves its position, but it has face towards that axis. I can't really show this, like, actually yes I can. I can change the target real quick. So if I change the slack, -4, it should face a different direction to what it did at that time. Which it has, if you can tell. Hey, this is 1 AM editor me. Just wanted to say I removed a couple of parts, so section numbers will be a little bit off in the future of this video. Section 7 is about offsetting parts. Well, if you want to attach something besides part like a sword at a character's side, you can use offsetting math. So offset in the scenario is going to be 2 studs. This will put the studs to the right of part 1, no matter how part 1 is rotated. So basically what this is doing here is it's got the part 2, it's got the C-frame, and it's going to equal to the part 1 C-frame. It's going to times by the offset, which is moving it by a vector value, which I believe we went through in number 1, section 2. But here, this will just move it relative to this part's position. So this is these 2 here. So I move one of these over here and run. Now it's relative to this one's position. It's just perfectly offset next to it as it shows here. And the last section, which I'm going to go over quickly, is just quickly making like a turret, which is my big orange thing over here. So this is its front face here, and this is going to rotate towards the player, hopefully, if I scripted this right, which I think I did. I have to actually be in the game for this one. Okay, look. Watch this turret now faces me. If I jump up and everything, it will follow me no matter where I go. Based on the C-frame. As you can see. So yeah. That's pretty cool. We went through a ton just then, but you've got to admit through it, and now you know how to move parts locally and relatively to the world space. You can rotate with CFrame.angles, you can set orientations with the look at, and you can set offsets and attach parts. You can build the code advanced. If you learned something today, drop a like, subscribe, and comment your favorite C-frame trick below. If you've got anything else you want me to teach you guys in future videos, let me know. If you have any ways of me how to improve myself in making tutorial videos like this, as this is my first, please drop it below. But thanks for watching, stay scripting, and I'll see you all next one. Bye.